What's up, YouTube? It's this guy, Jeremy McDonald. Let me hear you say it. One of your very favorite people with Parkinson's. Of course, it's Jeremy, also known as J Mac, Jeremy Mac. Let's do this thing. Well, look who's back. This guy, J Mac, your favorite person, one of your favorite people with Parkinson's, here for another video. This one's going to be a little dark. I'm in my bunker here. If you can see, I've got some horror movies behind me. Some of my favorite, most scary movies that I like to watch, and I'm a movie collector, so I buy the Blu-rays, and I've actually got some VHS, Blair Witch Project and Dracula. So, before we get to the video, I just want to remind you I do have an email address, jmacpodcaster@gmail.com, and I do have an Instagram. I'll put the links below. Alright guys, I'm going to ask you a question. What scares you? What really just makes you have to put on your pooping pants? Is it zombies? Maybe vampires? Maybe home invaders? Maybe aliens probing you? Yeah, that would scare me. All those things scare me, but they don't scare me as much as some of the things that have been shared with me and that I fear myself regarding Parkinson's disease. I mean, I suppose when I was growing up, I remember seeing a clip of Night of the Living Dead, and it scared the bejeebus out of me. There was a zombie, and it was just, I couldn't fathom a walking corpse, and it scared the hell out of me. One of the things that scared me when I was young was the E.T. finger. E.T. phone home. That red finger just freaked me the hell out. I know I never really got that from anybody else, that E.T. was, that finger scared me. There was a movie called Flight of the Navigator, which you guys might remember, which was like an alien abduction. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. Vampires scared me. Zombies were probably the number one thing I was afraid of. I was scared of. But then I got older and I started to be worried more about bills and pensions and 401ks and things like that. And then I got Parkinson's, and then all that crap went out the window. And I started to be afraid of different things. Afraid of falling. Afraid of becoming just a miserable person. And in my series, Not Just Parkinson's, which, by the way, thank you for all the views and comments. It appears to be a pretty big hit. If you would like to be on the show, just shoot me an email, jmacpodcaster@gmail.com. But one of the questions that I ask, I don't ask all the time, but one of the things I usually ask is, what are you the most afraid of with Parkinson's disease? And I get pretty much the same answer every time. Either you're afraid of becoming too miserable to enjoy life, very real concern, or you're afraid of developing dementia or losing yourself, losing who you are, which are both very valid, scary things. I mean, falling is one that really frightens me. As you know, I busted my toilet a few months back. But let's stick with what's bothering you. Now, you can leave in comments what your biggest fear is, but I got a feeling a lot of you are going to say the same thing. Dementia, I don't know the stats, but I'm sure it goes kind of hand in hand with Parkinson's to some extent, not all the time. I know a lot of times people lump Parkinson's in with Alzheimer's. I guess it's a similar pathology, but a different end result, or can be. We all know Robin Williams had Lewy body dementia, which I don't really understand the correlation between that and Parkinson's disease, but apparently there's a crossover. So what I'm getting at here is, these are very real fears, and they make all this crap, Jack the Ripper and aliens and paranormal activity, and even Slayer album covers, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, scarier than Jack Torrance in The Shining is losing your mind. And I spoke on my recent decision about DBS, about the things that really scared me about DBS, losing my personality and losing my voice, which, let's face it, that's why you show up here on this channel, my voice and my personality. And I thank you for that. What can we do about this fear? Well, we can stay active and we can stay positive, but I mean, honestly, this is where it gets tricky. I feel like there's this illusion of control. I mean, I had it when I was younger, this illusion that we could control our destiny. Like, if I saved enough money, if I exercised enough, if I stopped drinking soda, if I just had a checklist of things in my mind, if I did these, I'll be fine. it didn't. I mean, yeah, don't do drugs. I didn't do drugs. I still got Parkinson's. So I feel like there is an element of chaos and kind of lack of control, but there is things we can do. We may not be able to stop what's coming, but we can enjoy the time we have here. And there are things we can do to help lessen the risk of dementia. I know some of the big risks are diabetes and alcohol, and there's one other thing. It's up to you guys. I mean, everybody's the same, but look, I stay active. I try to keep my brain going at all times. You guys might be annoyed. Sometimes I rattle off in what little I know of German and Spanish. That's a way to keep my brain active and healthy. I do number puzzles during the day to kind of Sudoku to kind of keep the wheels turning. I try to be very social. Will these things stop what may eventually happen? I don't know, but it certainly makes me enjoy the time I have here a lot better. And that's what it's about. It's about enjoying the here and now. And I know I've quoted Michael J. Fox before, and I'm sure you guys have all heard this quote. He's like, Parkinson's is like being stuck in the middle of a street and there's a bus coming, and you know it's coming and you can't really do anything about it. You're just trying to brace for the impact. And that's what I feel like a lot of us. I used to live in the brace for impact. Oh, dyskinesia is another one that people get afraid of, like the wiggly movements. I really don't know how much control we have over any of these things. But back to Michael J. Fox. We're stuck in the middle of the road. We can't do it. We can't move. But if we spend all our time worrying about what happens, and it does happen, then we've lived it twice, which very powerful words. And I got to be honest with you, I spent a lot of my younger years worrying about things. Now, it paid off in some extent because I was worried about losing my house and losing my car, so I saved money, which ended up working out pretty good for me. But we can't live in fear, and I know it's easy to say, but maybe we should go back to spend our time being afraid of zombies and vampires and the Blair Witch. And if you're not a horror person, then find something that makes you happy. I don't know why being scared makes me happy. I love being scared. So just my little tidbit this week. Feel free to comment. I mean, that's why I do this channel, is for you guys, for myself, and to interact with you, I should say, to interact with people. Is there a fear that I haven't mentioned? Something that maybe you're afraid of losing your spouse, something like that. That's a very real fear, and that has happened before, and I don't know that there's anything that we can really do about it if our spouse can't deal. It's a matter of finding the peace to just accept what may or may not happen and enjoying the time we have. All we got's today. We don't have tomorrow. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Hope it wasn't too dark. Like I said, I try to always put a little bit of humor in here. I mean, I know I know people that probably are going to hate these horror movies that don't like horror movies, but like I said, this stuff, nothing scares me anymore. I got Parkinson's. Nothing scares me. That's all I got. Until next time, peace and love from the cloudy city of St. Louis.